Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and this is your session on a chapter Life Processes. So in the previous video we have started Holozoic nutrition, yes or no? We spoke about the heterotrophic nutrition. Three varieties were there: saprophytic, parasitic and Holozoic. And Holozoic nutrition in single cell organisms we were discussing. We already discussed about the nutrition in case of amoeba. So try to remember a word called pseudopodia. Okay, that's a very important word to be remembered. What does a pseudopodia do? How is the food taken inside? Everything you must remember. And today we will talk about a nutrition in one more single cell microorganism called paramecium. Okay, so let us try to discuss few aspects of nutrition in paramecium. Okay, so what do you mean by paramecium? You must have studied about this paramecium in your previous classes, yes or no? So what do you mean by this paramecium? Single cell organism. Okay, how does a paramecium looks like? Say something like this. Something like this. Paramecium, you know, and you will have a hair-like structure all over the body. Hair-like structure all over the body, and nucleus. Okay, imagine this is a nucleus, and you know what do you call these hair-like structures as? Cilia. What do we call them? Cilia, isn't it? So this is how naturally how a paramecium looks like. One cell, it has only one cell, not like humans, we have crores of cells, but this has only one cell. Okay, so now let us study about all the steps. You are familiar with the steps of nutrition, isn't it? So what is the first step here? Ingestion. Ingestion. Okay, so what do you mean by ingestion? Intake of food is called ingestion. So how is ingestion happens in case of paramecium? How does a paramecium takes food inside? Imagine you have a food particle here. Say this is your food particle, and how is this paramecium takes this food particle? You know, the cilia, you have this hair-like structures called cilia, isn't it? So this cilia will sweep the food towards, you know, the membrane of paramecium. Okay, cilia is there, no? It will take the food inside. Okay, so cilia is the one. What is cilia? Hair-like structures. Hair-like structures called cilia. Cilia will help to take the food inside. Okay, so actually what happens here is a groove is created here. Okay, this is a food particle. Like this, a groove is created. Okay, some groove is created, and here you will have something called some structure inside, which we call it as gullet. Okay, so cilia will sweep the food into the oral groove. This is what we call oral groove. Okay, so cilia will sweep the food into oral groove. Later this food will go into the gullet. Gullet is present inside the cytoplasm. Okay, so food, what happens here initially? Food goes into oral groove and then into gullet. Okay, so this is what happens in case of ingestion. And now the next step is digestion. Okay, so what happens? Whatever the food that has moved into the gullet, no, Later, that food will be moved to the food vacuoles. These are called food vacuoles. Do you remember in case of amoeba how vacuoles were created? Okay, so that way here also food vacuoles will get created, and later this particular food is moved to the vacuoles, food vacuoles. And there, with the help of enzymes, the food particles are broken down into smaller and smaller pieces. Yeah, so what I can write here? Food vacuoles. Vacuoles are created. Food moves into vacuole, and gets broken into smaller pieces. Okay, so this is what happens in case of digestion. And coming to the third step, absorption. Okay, so what happens in the absorption? The nutrients gets diffused into the cytoplasm. Okay, so these are food vacuoles. Here the breaking process is happening. Again the nutrients will shift it towards the cytoplasm from food vacuole, and the food vacuole later disappears. Okay, so what I can write here? Nutrients diffuses in the sense moves where? Into cytoplasm of a cell. The area of the cell where all nucleus and all is there is called cytoplasm. Okay, it will move into the cytoplasm of cell, and food vacuole disappears. Okay, so this is all about absorption. And coming to the fourth step, assimilation. Okay, so what happens in the assimilation? The food gets utilized later for some synthesis. Okay, so whatever cell activities has to be happen in a cell, for all those activities, the nutrients will get used up. You know, such a step we will call it as assimilation. So what I can write here? Food gets utilized later for further synthesis. Okay, synthesis. Fine. And the last step is also common. What is the last step? You know, the undigested food will go through anal pore. You know what? Here there will be some pores in the paramecium, which we call it as anal pore. Okay, so undigested food will go through these anal pores. So what I will write in case of adhesion? How does the adhesion happens here? Undigested food goes out through anal pore. Much advanced, something little different from amoeba, isn't it? In amoeba, how is the food, undigested food goes outside? From the cytoplasm itself. But here, anal pores are present. Through anal pores, you know, the undigested food is going outside. Okay, and ingestion also little advanced type. Yes or no? See, the hair-like structures called cilia is sweeping the food inside. Like this, sweeping, it is pulling the food towards itself. It is going to the oral groove. Later, it is entering into the gullet. Okay, just like the food that we take, first it enters into the mouth and later to the stomach, no? Like that only. First to the oral groove, it's like a mouth, and later it is moving to the gullet. Gullet is just like a stomach. Okay, and later the same food is moving to the food vacuoles, where you have certain enzymes. Those enzymes will break the food into smaller particles. Okay, and the smaller particles, which are nothing but nutrients, will get absorbed into a cytoplasm. Okay, they will get pushed into a cytoplasm. We call it as diffuses. Okay, shifts towards the cytoplasm. And after that, assimilation. The food particles which are there in the cytoplasm, no, they will get ready. Okay, they'll be waiting for further synthesis to happen. That means further things to happen in a cell. Okay, where to produce energy or to prepare other types of proteins or whatever it is. Okay, the food is ready for the cell's use. Got to know? That is called assimilation. And egestion is whatever waste material is there that has to come out. And how does it come out? It will come out through anal pore. Okay, so here also the nutrition is very simple only. It's all because, you know, only one cell organism it is. So whatever may happen, it should happen in that single cell only. So in case of amoeba or in case of paramecium, you know, the nutrition process or the digestion process is very, very simple and easy. And now we are moving to the nutrition in human beings, and it is not simple as it is. Got to know? Each and every step is done by special organs. Okay, taking food is done by the mouth area. So much things can happen in a mouth for that food. Got to know? So this is one organ, and later it passes through one more pipe called esophagus. That is another organ. Like that, for each and every step, you know, you need certain organs for humans. And each and every organ is made up of so many tissues. Tissues are made up of cells, isn't it? So what you have to remember is, each and every organ present inside us will work in a different way. Okay, they will do a certain work that is allotted to them. Got to know? So these are the things we are going to discuss in case of nutrition in humans. Okay, so which organ is doing what work? What is happening for the food that we are taking in a daily basis? How it gets converted into energy? You know, this is what we are going to discuss. Okay, and nutrition in single cell organisms. 2 points you have to remember. Pseudopodia in case of amoeba. What is the use of pseudopodia? And here you have to remember about the cilia. Okay, the hair-like structures called cilia. What do? They sweep the food into oral groove, and again food is moving from oral groove to gullet. From there to the food vacuole. Okay, so these are the things essential to remember. Fine. See, the type of nutrition that you will observe in human beings is holozoic nutrition, isn't it? Holozoic. We are holozoic organisms. That means we consume complex organic substances as food. Like the organic substances we consume will be having long chains, long carbon chains with so many functional groups. Okay, so this much difficult or very complex things we are consuming. So our digestion have to be proper, right? So our digestion, human beings' digestion will take more time because we consume very difficult, chemical substances, very complex chemical substances. Okay, say digestion in amoeba and paramecium you have observed, it happened very easily, isn't it? But it doesn't happen that easily in humans because we consume complex substances. Okay, and for every work we have a specialized organ. Actually the nutrition, or in other words digestion, we call here. Okay, so this digestion or nutrition will occur, okay, through digestive tract. Okay, in humans the nutrition occurs or happens through a tract called digestive tract. Digestive tract. Okay, in other words, this is also called alimentary canal. Alimentary canal. Okay, so this alimentary canal is a very long canal that is present inside our body. Okay, you know how much long it is? It is 9 meter long canal. 9 meter long track we have inside. 9 meter, you can just imagine. 1 meter is how many centimeters? 100 centimeter. From mouth to abdomen, we have a 9-meter long canal. 9-meter long passage is there from mouth to our abdomen. Abdomen is just below the stomach. Got it? So in that 9-meter long track, the digestion is taking place. Okay, I mean the nutrition is taking place. Nutrition in the sense the 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, egestion. This much can takes place in that 9-meter long canal. Okay, 9 meter in the sense what? 900 centimeter long canal is there inside. Okay, through that canal, the nutrition is happening inside a living system. And that canal is called with the name alimentary canal, or it is also called as digestive tract. Okay, and you must know how to draw that digestive tract or alimentary canal. Okay, this diagram can be asked for final examinations. Very, very important. And I will show how to draw the alimentary canal in a easiest way. Okay, first let us know how to draw it. Okay, and after that let us learn what are the organs present in that alimentary canal. After that we will discuss which organ is doing what work in case of nutrition. Like which organ is undergoing a process called ingestion, digestion, where is it happening? Egestion, where is it happening? Absorption, where is it happening? All that we are going to learn. Okay, so first and foremost, you have to learn how to draw that digestive tract or alimentary canal. Okay, so observe carefully. First you observe, later try to draw yourself. Okay, see, normally when I tell you to look into the textbook and draw it, you may feel it little difficult and you don't know where to start from and where to end the diagram, isn't it? So for that reason, I will show how to draw it in an easier way. Okay, fine. Say if this is your page, imagine if this is your page, say start the diagram from the bottom. Okay, not from the very bottom, just little upper, not at the middle, just below the middle onwards, start drawing your digestive tract. Okay, say first what you have to do is just you're putting like this. Okay, so this is the outline you put first, and later to this outline, this is how you start doing, like this. Okay, I'm showing it in the easiest way. At least this much you have to draw. Digestive tract. Okay, and later like this, curves. You're just putting these curves. Okay, like this. This is how you're putting the curve. Okay, and after doing this much, start from here. Okay, start from here. 2 lines you draw. 2 lines like this. This is one line, and this is another line. Okay, like this, 2 lines. And after that, like this, mango shape. You have to draw something like mango shape. This is your mango shape. See, you got a mango shape. And after that, C shape, like this. Join it to this C shape. Okay, got to know? 2 lines and then a mango. Okay, like this, join to this. Fine. And after that, here, one leaf you draw, like this. One stem-like thing you put and draw one leaf. Okay, one leaf you have to draw. And after that, from the stem of the leaf, you draw one more stem. Okay, like this. That stem should come this side. See, one stem, one leaf I have put. From the same stem, you go up, draw one more stem and go here, this side. And here you put one balloon-like structure. Okay. And after that, try to put one triangle-like substance. Like this. One triangle you put. Okay. So this much you have to do initially. And after that, here, this opening is there, no? I will change the color. This C shape one is again a different organ actually. Okay, see, like this. Okay, I have drawing this C shape with yellow color. To this C-shaped structure only, the leaf is attached and also this balloon-like structure is attached. Yes or no? Okay, fine. And after that, you draw some coils. Draw some coils, and that coil you join it here to this structure. Okay, and here the coil, see, one more round of coil like this. One more round of coil. Okay, join it here. Okay, that's it. Clear, everybody? Fine. Down part is over. Fine. And now from here, start putting 1 3. It's not like a prominent. Don't put a 3 like this. Like ulta 3 you have to put. How do you write 3? Like this, no? Ulta 3 you have to put. Just change the shape like this. Okay. And after that, one more 3 like structure only, like this. Like this. Okay, it actually, I'm drawing a face here. It doesn't exactly look like a face. At least some shape of a face I'm trying to draw. Okay, see, understood now? I'll change the chalk piece here. See, 1 3 ulta 3. I'm not putting a prominent 3 also, like this one shape. And again one more small 3, ulta 3, and you're bringing it like this. Okay, actually this is the shoulder of a person. And after that, head. Try to draw a head like this. One more shoulder. Okay, just head. It's not like a, it doesn't exactly look like a human head, but still, however, head is not important. This shape is not important for us. The things, whatever I'm drawing, this area is very important for us. Okay, this area is very important for us. Next, this line, one of the line, no, you join it here. Okay, and the next line you join it to 3, upper 3, whatever you have drawn, no, to that you are joining actually. And from here, you join here like this, something like this. Okay, like this. Actually, this is your mouth, guys. This is your mouth, and this is your nose. This is your mouth. This is your nose. Okay, over. And here you show some glands present. Okay, show some glands. Okay, this is a gland, and here one more gland will be there. Okay, not here, one more gland will be there. Okay, like this, show some glands. This is what we call human digestive tract. Okay, you can do it in a simple way, isn't it? I have shown it. So pause the video and try to draw it. Now, let me try to label all the parts here. Okay, and this area, we will call it as buccal cavity. Buccal cavity. Buccal cavity is this, our mouth. Okay, actually this is mouth. This is mouth. This is mouth. Okay, this is actually mouth. Mouth is different, buccal cavity is different. Mouth means the opening. This opening which is guarded by 2 lips is called mouth. The area where teeth are present, this one, the area where teeth and tongue is present, that is called buccal cavity. Okay, so and in some of the textbooks, actually mouth and buccal cavity is same, they say, but actually speaking, mouth is just an opening which has 2 lips. Buccal cavity is the area where you have tongue and teeth. Okay, so this is mouth opening, and the area where teeth is there, that is called buccal cavity. Okay, and buccal cavity will have salivary glands. This glands, okay, the purple color glands, whatever I have shown here, no, this is called salivary glands. Salivary glands. Okay, and this long pipe that can come in a chest area, that is called esophagus. This is called esophagus. Esophagus. Okay, and this mango shape area is there, no, this mango shaped structure. Actually, this is called stomach. This is what your stomach. Okay, and this triangle shape structure whichever I have drawn, this is called liver. What is this? Liver. Okay, and the balloon shaped structure, whatever I have drawn, balloon shaped one, this is called gallbladder. This is gallbladder. Okay, and this leaf type of structure, whatever I have drawn here, this is called pancreas. Okay, this is our pancreas. And this coiled one, snake, so much of snake coils that I have drawn inside, no? This is our small intestine. Small intestine. Okay, and this one, the pink color area, that this ball shaped structure, this one is called big intestine. Big intestine. Okay, and this one, this opening where undigested food actually comes out from here, and this is called anus. Anus. Okay, and the small growth which is attached to this is actually called as appendix. Appendix. Have you heard of people suffering from appendix? Yes, 24 hours pain, they will get it. No, we keep hearing appendix operation and all. It's all because of this small muscle, that is attached to a big intestine. Anyway, it doesn't have much work to do inside a body, but still this small thing, we will call it as appendix. Okay, fine. So whenever this appendix enlarges, when it grows inside a body, then you get, you feel that pain. That point of time, what doctors do is, they will try to remove this appendix. It doesn't have any use, much significant use in a body. Okay, so this is about our digestive tract. Okay, and here, the digestive tract mainly includes, where do we take food from? Our mouth. Okay, so the first organ we have to discuss about is mouth. After that, the food will enter into buccal cavity. Buccal cavity, where teeth and tongue and saliva is there. Okay, so that is called buccal cavity. From the buccal cavity, the food goes through esophagus. The food goes through esophagus. Okay. From the esophagus, the food will go into stomach. It will go into stomach. And after that, from the stomach, see, the food is going to small intestine. The food is going to small intestine. From the small intestine, the undigested food actually goes into big intestine. Okay, big intestine. And big intestine. Okay, big intestine has a hole called anus. From the hole, undigested food will come. Okay, but this is how actually the food passes inside our body. And each and every organ, some process is happening. At buccal cavity, something is happening for the food. Esophagus, something can happen. Stomach area, many things are happening for the food. Okay, and in the small intestine, too much of activity is going on with the food. And big intestine, something can happen with the food. Okay, so in each and every organ, there is something happening to the food. Okay, so all that we have to discuss. What is happening in mouth? What is happening in buccal cavity? How the food moves in esophagus? And what is happening to a food in stomach? What is happening to a food in small intestine as well as in the big intestine? Okay, so this is what we have to discuss in detail. And these things will be discussed in my next video. Okay, till then, keep practicing this human digestive system properly along with the labeling. Okay? And ma'am, you can ask me, what is the reason, what is the function of pancreas and what is the function of liver? See, food is not going into these two organs, but still they help for the digestion of food. They will actually give certain juices which helps food to get broken down into small pieces. That's why we have to mention pancreas and liver also. Okay, usually, directly food is not entering to them, but still even those guys are helping for a food to undergo digestion. Okay, but actually how the food moves is this way: mouth to buccal cavity to esophagus to stomach to small intestine, and later to the big intestine, and from big intestine has an anus, it will come out undigested one. Okay, so this is what individually in detail we will discuss. And practicing diagram is very important. So the way I taught you, practice in that way so that easily you can get it. And even if you don't get the face area properly, this particular shape doesn't matter. What is important is from here to here, everything in place, in shape, you have to show. Clear? Fine. So we'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep revising the concept. And if you like our video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel for more updates. Thank you.